My name is Nandi. When I was 4, I was sexually abused, and it continued all the way up into my college years. I was also emotionally abused through that. It affected me in many different ways. And the hard part was I was abused by multiple people from my family that was close to me. And so as a child, it was confusing, because these are people who are supposed to have some type of authority over me, who I'm supposed to look up to. Yet they were doing things that I knew wasn't right. Even though I didn't understand why it wasn't right, something inside of me knew that it was wrong, and it made me feel ashamed, and it made me feel filthy. And as I got older, it just worsened. I started to act out in school, and I started to misbehave because I sought attention in a way. I wanted someone to see that I was hurting, but no one paid attention. And I didn't start off acting out. I started off being a really good girl, getting straight A's and being just the best possible student I can be, because I thought I was a bad girl, and that's why all those things were happening to me. And so I figured if I was a good girl, it wouldn't happen anymore. But once I realized that didn't work, I started to be the bad girl that I thought I was, and I started to just do all kinds of different things. And although I stopped being abused in my late teen years, it didn't really stop. And even though I wasn't thinking about it, in my behavior and my lifestyle, you can see the effects of it. I started to do drugs and to drink a lot. I started having sex with lots of people, both men and women. And it just took me to a really, really low place. And I was really depressed often. And I lost myself. And it wasn't until I realized I was so low and I was so lost that I needed help. And I was looking for love and attention in all these different places, and none of it was satisfying me or giving me that peace that I desired or feeling that emptiness that I felt. And so I joined a women's group. And in this women's group, they shared something with me that I hadn't had before, something better than I experienced in my whole life. And they gave me Jesus. They told me about how He was this loving God who cared about me and who saw me in every single step of my life, and who understood and who wanted me to feel happy and wanted me to not feel empty.
What if I were to tell you that you're probably not experiencing your best life now? That even though you may have good moments, there is something better. See, life is a mystery for most of us. It doesn't matter if you're the richest of the rich or the most economically challenged. We all go through suffering, pain, sickness, and eventually death. What if I were to tell you that all of that is not the end? There is something better. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. We have experienced it. Maybe it's time you give it a try.
And so that's when I found something better, is when I learned of this Christ, this God who just loves me so much, despite what I've been through, despite how dirty I felt and how disgusting I felt. He still loved me. And yes, that's when I found something better. Now, I'm married and I have Christ and I am more at peace. Even though I know all of these things have happened to me, I feel better, and I've forgiven the people who have hurt me, and that doesn't make it right, but I've forgiven them, and I feel like I'm in a much better place because I found Christ and because I have him now. My name is Nandi, and I found something better.